now let's take a look at Leetcode programming number 554, brick wall. So the problem is basically we are provided a brick wall as an input, and this input is represented in the form of list of lists. So there are bricks lined up uh, line by line, and we have to find out a vertical line which passes through minimum number of bricks. So for example, if you see the vertical line shown in red over here, so it just passes through 2 bricks. For rest of the rows, it passes in between bricks, so that is not counted. So it is the best possible vertical line cutting through minimum number of bricks. So let's see how can we go about solving this. So I have drawn the same vertical same wall with the verticals also, all possible vertical lines also drawn on it. So what we would do is, first we would maintain a list of sets, and in sets there is, in the sets there is a set for each row, and in the row we will add all the vertical lines which are possible through it, which are going through it without cutting any of the brick. For example, if you see the row number 1, so in this, vertical line number 1, 3 and 5 pass through it without cutting any brick, so we'll add that. Then at line number 2, if you see the vertical line number 3 and 4 pass through it without cutting anything. One thing to note is that we are not adding 0 and 6 because the rightmost and leftmost vertical lines are to be ignored as specified in the problem. Now let's take a look at line number the row number 3. So in this row number 3 we have 1, the vertical line 1 which is passing, 2 cuts a brick, 3 cuts a brick, 4 is passing, 5 cuts a brick, and 6 we are not anyhow assuming. Let's take a look at line number 4. So 1 cuts a brick, 2 is passing through it, 3 again cuts a brick, 4 again cuts a brick, 5 again cuts a brick. Okay, let's move to the next line. Now in this 1 cuts a brick, 2 also cuts a brick, 3 doesn't cut a brick, so we add 3, 4 doesn't cut a brick, so we add 4, and 5 cuts a brick. Finally, let row number 6, 1 doesn't cut a brick, 2 cuts a brick, 3 cuts a brick, 4 doesn't cut a brick, and 5 also doesn't cut a brick, so 1, 4 and 5. So these are the vertical lines for each individual row in the wall. Now next step, what we need to do is we have to create a map, and this map has the vertical lines as the keys, and the value is in how many rows in how many rows does it pass through without cutting any brick. So, and for the finding that out, we will use the list of sets that we created in the first step. So if you see the vertical line at 1, so 1 is present where, in which all sets? So 1 is present over here in row number 1, then row number 3, and then row number 6. So 1 is present at 3 places. So what we would do is we would add 3 over here in this map. Let's check about 2. So 2 is present in row number 4 in the list of sets above, and that's it. That is the only place where it is present. So I will add 1 over here because it is only present in one of the sets. Let's check for 3. So 3 is present in 1, 2, 3 in 3 sets. So let's add 3 for 3, 4. So where all is 4 present? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 is present in 4 of the sets. So let's add that. 5 is present in 1, 2 sets. So let's add that. And we should not consider the leftmost and rightmost rows, the vertical edges of the wall, so we'll not do any counting for 0 or 6. So now in this map, if you see, the best vertical line is line number 4 because it passes through 4 of the rows in the wall without cutting a brick. So we'll choose this 4. Okay, so now the value, this vertical line 4, let's see which all rows it passes through. So it passes through over here at row number 1, and then it crosses row number 2 without cutting anything, crosses row number 3, then it cuts a brick in row number 4. So this is the second row which it cuts, and then it doesn't cut this row, neither it cuts the last row. So it cuts just 2 rows. So the value of 2 is what the number of rows this vertical line at 4 cuts, and that would be our answer. So this is the best possible vertical line which can be drawn in this wall, cutting the minimum number of bricks. So if you would want to check the programmatic solution for this, please check the link that I've added in the description. Thanks for watching.